What's up, YouTubers? Alright, if you don't know who Chelsea Grin is, and if you like metal, you like screamo music, you really need to check them out. Amazing band, met them live, awesome people, put on a great show. Alright, now we got that out of the way, let's talk money. And let's go over a little tactic and some ingenuity, some creative thinking that made me and my friend a decent amount of money when we were kids. Alright, so in 2003, 2004, we were doing a lot of pawn shop stuff. We had built up our own capital from both working for local companies and doing manual labor, chores, stuff like that to make some profit, and for flipping items on eBay, different comp deals that we got, just doing everything we could to make money. And in 2003, we were investing it in buying stock from different pawn shops and local places. Made a hookup with a local pawn shop where we got everything at wholesale price, where he made very little profit off of it, and we would turn around and we would sell it individually on eBay and on Amazon at the time. Another big site that now is pretty much defunct, just gone away, died out, is half.com. We made a lot of money on that. It's the same idea as how you do Amazon today, but they focus just on books, music, and movies and DVDs, video games. That was it. And you can tell how old the site is because they don't even offer the new generation game systems. I think they barely got into the PS3 and Xbox 360 generations. They have some pretty limited support for that, and they don't have anything for the new gen systems. So it gives you an idea of just how outdated that site is, how old it is. But that's where we really made our start, flipping items on there. We buy stuff local. Sometimes we even buy stuff from local pawn shops and flip them to other shops like GameStop, EB Games, Blockbuster. Before Blockbuster just disappeared, they actually had a game center, and we made a decent amount of money with that. That's the next thing that I want to talk about, is flipping games when we were going to Blockbuster. So in early 2004, they had a special deal where if you trade in any 3 games, you got a used pre-owned game for $5. It sounds like a terrible deal, I know, because you spend $15, $20 per game, and you go and you trade that in for a game that normally would cost you $60 new and like $45 or $50 used, and trading in 3 games to get that doesn't sound like much of a deal. But we got creative with it, and that's how it became such an amazing idea. So what we did is we figured out we could purchase games for around $5, $6. So let's just call it $6 a piece. You need 3. So for 3 games, we're in the hole $18. And we trade those back in. We get a little bit of credit for them. They had some games that were standardized where they'd give like $10, $12, $13 guaranteed credit. Most of them were pretty shitty. We were looking at average about $3 a game. So after we go and we spend $18 on games, we only got $9 back. So we're still 50% in the hole. You can throw on top of that the purchase of $5 for a pre-owned game. Now we're $14 in the hole, but we got a new game. Now, what Blockbuster was not expecting, and the loophole for this special trade deal that they had, is we turned that game around. That was $45, $50 used game. We can turn around and sell back to Blockbuster for $35 on average. Sometimes they pay up to $40, like the Grand Theft Auto at the time. They would pay $40 for that. Assassin's Creed, they paid $35, and pretty much any game, we guaranteed that we got a game that was a minimum of $35. Now you're thinking that's probably not a whole lot of profit, and honestly it wasn't per transaction. You're looking at $21 to $26 profit. One transaction though. Each store was limited to 6 transactions per day. Now, you look at 6 transactions times $21 or $26, it's $126 to $150 of in-store credit. Now, That alone doesn't sound like a whole lot, but if you really invest in your games, turn around and you can do it. You drive throughout an entire metro area and do the same deal over and over again. Sometimes we were hitting 5, 8, 10 stores a day, pulling $120 to $150 profit per store. Now you look at those numbers, that starts to add up. And what we would do is we would buy games either from Pawn Shop or EB Games, GameStop, sometimes even directly from Blockbuster. We would go out to the car, remove all stickers, change cases even, because we want to make sure that no one got suspicious. We were bringing in Blockbuster games where they'd have their Blockbuster special case that had Blockbuster written all over it. We'd swap those out for other cases. We'd also take in a lot of DVDs with us. Now, sometimes we only broke even in a handful of these DVDs. We'd even lose a small percentage of money, like 25 cents or 50 cents a DVD, just to be able to push the volume so that we could trade in all these games without looking suspicious. We would repeat this over and over and over again, store after store, building up thousands of dollars in store credit. Now, you may be thinking, that's store credit, what good is that? You can turn around and sell store credit on eBay. Flip that into real cash. Or, if you're like us as kids, you want games. You want something for that hard work of all that thinking, trading stuff in, shows some actual fruit from the labor you've invested. So, what did I do with it? I ended up saving up $2,500 in store credit to blow on video games. I bought myself PlayStation 2. I bought PSP. When the PSP first came out, him and I were standing in line with it already paid for it 100% in full on the pre-order so that we could pick up those systems ourselves on the release day. We stayed up till midnight in the store, the first two in line, waited for like 5 hours just to get those systems. And we were so excited. And it sucked, honestly. And there was like no video games out when it first came out. But it didn't matter. We pre-ordered all those amazing games and all the accessories, and we were loaded. And we did it ourselves. We would also flip all these gift cards. Turns out that Blockbuster has a max of $500 per gift card. And we were going through gift cards in our wallets like some preppy rich girl goes through daddy's credit cards, and we just had so many lying around. We would turn around and sell them on eBay. We'd get 85 to 90 cents on the dollar. So we were getting, around 400-ish dollars per $500 gift card, which on the other flip side, someone getting that money, they're paying $400, getting $500 worth of games for their kids. Great for them. Great for us because it was pure profit for us. Absolute profit. And we would turn around and do whatever we want on those video games. And with the money we received from buying games, we would reinvest that, buy more, flip more, up to the point where we actually got banned from multiple stores. And we had one store threaten to call corporate on us and suggested they were going to sue us for abusing their system, even though they left a loophole in the system. So, case any Blockbuster people are watching, fuck you. You screwed up the system. It's your fault. You left a loophole for us to exploit in it. It's not our fault for being ingenuitive and trying to make money in your system. And let's be honest, you were selling games too. It's not like you lost money on this. We just helped you move your inventory around and shuffle the money around more or less. And in reward for that, we got paid. And honestly, nothing feels better than doing that, especially as a teenager, having all that money just lying around, being able to buy what we wanted. Now, we should have properly invested that. We had his dad at the time was talking about investing into stocks, and at this point, I really, really wish I had, because we were looking at buying Amazon stocks and seeing how Amazon has just skyrocketed. I really regret that decision. But I blew it on other stuff. More video games. Buying game systems, buying games, buying DVDs, buying all the junk food that I could possibly imagine. A couple other things I probably shouldn't admit to, but it was a blast. Had so much fun doing it, and it just goes to show all you need is a little bit of creativity. Methods like that can still be employed today. Finding those good deals, going to pawn shops, going to garage sales, going to estate sales, things like that can still be employed today. It may not be as profitable for certain items like it used to be, but you can find some really great gems just going to garage sales. Another story, speaking of garage sales, is having a story to help negotiate. So a tactic I did when I was in high school, when I was a junior and a senior, is I took my, at the time, fiance with me. This was before I engaged to her. So just girlfriend, and I would take her with me to go to local garage sales. We had this sob story of how we were these newlyweds in love. We were just trying to get our first house put together, and anything we could, we'd pick out all these nice things like the nice dish set, the silverware and everything, and it'd be like $50, $100 worth of stuff. If it was $50, I would try to haggle them down to $20 or $30. Say that's all I had. Say that the rest was for gas money, for this or that, and just more or less try to con these nice old ladies selling all of their belongings into selling it cheaper for me. Because I needed it. I couldn't afford to pay the price they were asking, even though it was an amazing deal already. And I knew that the market value used for the stuff they were selling was twice the value of what they were selling it for. I wanted more. So I wanted more profit, and I would talk them down. I would do that on jewelry. I would do it on dishes, on game systems, anything and everything possible. One of the most profitable things that we found back then, back in the early days of garage selling, and even with my girlfriend, was Legos. Legos made so much money. I probably could have built my own Legoland with the amount of Legos I've had pass through my hands over the last decade or 2 decades now. They are profitable. They are worth a lot of money, and people are willing to pay money for them. They always hold their value. And that's one of those things that if you can pick up an entire box full of Legos for a really cheap price, you can turn around and you can flip it. There's always someone willing to purchase Legos. It's a never-ending toy. It's been around for like 100 years or something like that. It will never go out of style. And that's what you need to find, is things like that that are holding their value. Certain things like video games, any type of electronics, they have a shelf life. And even though they physically do not go bad, they're only valuable for a short amount of time. If you don't find a buyer for it in that time period, you may end up losing your money on your investment if you're not careful. Other things like jewelry, that's a really tricky one. You really have to know what you're looking for in jewelry. If it's real gold versus fake gold, real diamonds or not, that can be muddy water. If you know how to do that stuff, you're already an expert in that field, go for it. There's money to be made. There are people selling stuff dirt cheap, and you can make profit off of it. But I would advise, go after something you know. For me, it was video games, and it was DVDs. I knew the market value of everything at that time, and I made money doing it. I was able to walk in somewhere, know the exact value of everything, how much I am able to pay for it, to be able to meet whatever overhead I had for gas, for time, and flip that and still make a profit. And that's what you have to do. Know your market. And today they've got all these different types of apps where you can go and you can look up prices for these things. There's apps where you can go and scan a barcode and pull it up on Amazon, see what people are selling it for. And if you find something that you can make a profit at, go for it. Factor in your shipping, factor in any type of overhead, your gas to get there, and start with that. And work your way up to being able to make money at it, including your time. What's your time worth? If you're making $1 or $2 profit on one item, if you're only selling that 1-2 times a week, you're not making much money off of it, is that worth your time? Is it scalable? Can you expand it? If you can, great. If not, look for something more profitable, because that is the key, is how much money you can make for the amount of time you're spending on it. And if you have to invest 200 man hours to be able to make any decent type of money and do that every week, you don't have that much energy in the week. There's not enough hours in the week to do something like that. And that's just physically impossible. So find something that is going to make you money and it's scalable. Because scalability is the key. Anyway, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Catch you next time.